Hi, today we are going to discuss regarding mistakes in your corporate tax filing. If you made mistakes in your corporate tax filing, please see my video till the end. First of all, here we can see this is UAE Corporate Tax Return Guide. They informed us how to correct our mistakes which already done in our tax filing. There is a four important para we need to consider. So in this video, we will understand four para. But first of all, we will cover there in simple text, which I mentioned in my slide. In first slide, we will cover what if error up to AED 10,000. Means if due to error your tax liability impact is up to AED 10,000, what we need to do? Very simple. If there is an error and the error impact is up to AED 10,000, that time you can correct in your next tax filing, or you can correct in which tax period when the error is discovered. Whichever earlier we can consider. I hope you understand. We will cover here important notice. We need to calculate the amount of AED 10,000 single or aggregate error. Means whatever the error is, single basis or aggregate basis, that should not be exceed AED 10,000. And further, only for understated tax, means there will be generate tax liability for the adjusting your error. I hope you understand this concept. And for your understanding, we will take a real life example. There is a mistake which is occurred by accountant. You can understand taxable person omitted AED 50,000 of taxable income. This error is AED 50,000 for the taxable income, but we need to consider the impact. For going the impact, we need to calculate 9% on that income. 9% of AED 50,000, that is 4,500. That is actual impact on your tax liability. There is a second error. What is the second error? Also overstated deductible expenses by AED 33,333. This is error amount, but we need to consider the tax impact on this. We need to calculate again 9% on 33,333. That is amount is AED 3,000. What is the total error impact is total tax underpaid is AED 7,500. That is below from the 10,000, means you can correct your error in next tax filing, or when you discovered your mistake, that time you can consider in that return. I hope you understand. Further, what if error is more than AED 10,000? Here we will understand if error impact on your tax liability is more than AED 10,000, that time you have to file voluntary disclosure via FTA portal and subject to penalties and reviews. I hope you understand. This is same concept we need to follow as VAT law. I hope you understand. There is only two concepts. First, if your error impact is at 10,000 or less in your tax liability, and second, if your error impact is more than AED 10,000 on your tax liability. In first scenario, if your error impact is less than 10,000, that time you have to file next tax return and correct your mistakes. This is simple concept. And second concept, if your error is more than AED 10,000, that time you have to file voluntary disclosure as per UAE law. I hope you understand. This is simple two concept. For your understanding, we will read this corporate tax return guide. Here in first para, they explained us if you become aware that a tax return submitted to the FTA is incorrect. Means if you understand your tax return submitted to FTA is incorrect, that time you can correct the error in the tax return, means next tax return, or in the tax return for the tax period in which the error has been discovered, whichever is earlier. This is already covered in my slide. And second aspect, here we will discuss the any other error. What the means of any other error? As I explained in my slide, if error is more than error impact, not the error amount, error impact on tax liability is more than 10,000, that time we need to file voluntary disclosure. Same mentioned in this guide. Further, here is important thing in para third, the aggregate tax impact of the error must be AED 10,000 or less. That time you can cover in next tax filing. Otherwise, you have to file your voluntary disclosure. In para 4, for this is very important for understanding. This field will not be visible in the tax return pertaining to your first tax period. What this means? Here you can see the question. Has the taxable person made an error in prior tax period where the tax impact is AED 10,000 or less? You didn't find this question in your CT filing. Why? Because this is related with the error in the prior tax period. They already mentioned this field will not be visible in the tax return pertaining to your first tax period. I hope you understand. If you made error in your first tax period, you cannot revise in that return. I hope you understand. There is no any concept for revision of your CT filing. There is only you can make the correction in the next tax return filing or through the voluntary disclosure as per the condition specified as we discussed here. I hope you understand this scenario. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any doubt, you can comment here. I will consider that. Thank you very much.